Just crossed the Sacramento River, and there are the Buttes, hiding behind vineyards and farms and all kinds of other stuff. I missed the turn, so we're turning around. So we are going over, I believe it's the Sacramento River, but maybe it's not. It looks like the Sacramento River. The Buttes are that way, but I wanted to stop and see this beautiful riparian stretch of river because it looks really nice and enchanting. And I don't know what these were, but I guess there must have been a bridge over this or something. It's Jim. And there's graffiti on the road. And there's some really nice trees here. Unfortunately, you can't see the Buttes here. They're hiding behind those trees there. Just wanted a little river experience. There's activity here too. There's so much traffic, I wouldn't believe it. It's Jim crossing the road.
Yep.
All right, enough of this excitement. To get a little Butte picture, we're going on Pass Road. It kind of goes through the whole thing. And then we're going to go around the northern part of the Buttes and around the whole thing. It's a very short mountain range. And but it's spring and it's all beautiful. We're going on a wildflower interpretive tour tomorrow. Wow, it looks like there's cellular towers up there. Surprise, surprise. I don't know where we're going to go. It's all a mystery. But we're going to go there somehow, some way, to the Buttes in Colusa County. The Butte Road that goes north and around. And we were just happened upon this nice little turnaround with this perfect view of the Buttes. They're not really that big, are they? But they're interesting. It's all privately owned. It's not a park, a public park, although it should be. And you have to make reservations to take hikes, which is what we're doing tomorrow. Tomorrow! And it's spring, so it's all green and beautiful. So next stop, wherever. As we continue driving around an entire mountain range, one of the shortest on the planet, called the Sutter Buttes. Here we are in the middle of spring. It's usually not like this. It looks like Ireland at the moment, but this is a pretty excellent view. We're kind of at the northwest side of the range right now. Probably about ready to get on the northern road, going past it in a northern way. Next stop, wherever. We're in a museum in Yuba City, and we're going to take our little Sutter Butte hike. And here is a little topography map. And I think we're going, in real life, we're going to the Brockman Ranch. So something like this. Next to these jagged peaks. And we're in the, what is this, the Community Calusa County Museum or something?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're in a museum waiting to depart. So it's stage one of our Sutter Buttes hike in Sutter County, California. All right, we're going on our wildflower tour to the Sutter Buttes. We're leaving Yuba City. Our guide, who claims she can play a really good tweaker role, is leading the pack. And we're trusting that she's not high on drugs at the moment. However, it might make the whole thing more interesting. So, those are the Sutter Buttes over there. We're going through the typical orchard areas. Here's the scene of this in this time of the year. One side is looking nice and lively with blossomy leaves, all green, and one side looks totally dead. And here we are going through the North Township Road intersection. Next stop, Sutter Buttes. As we get closer, the buttes become more dynamic in their magnificence as they just jut out of the valley like a zit on a teenager's face.
And we could do the Easter sunrise service.
And sort of on the sides of the buttes. And once you get into it, we're on a pass road. It kind of goes in the buttes a little bit, the southern edge of it. And it's springtime, so it's like really pretty and green. Oh, and it looks like
we're opening a gate.
It looks like we're making the turn onto the Brockman Ranch, or at least the geology part of the tour is, and I think we are going further on. So we want to go on the geology tour as well, but that's next trip. This is spring, and it's time for wildflowers. And wow, you can see the coastal range from the distance here too. So I would imagine on a clear day at the top of one of these you can see the Sierras. Well, you can see the Sierras from here with snow, and you can see the coastal range over in the horizon. She'll be stopping soon. All right, our lovely guides are opening the gate, and it's so cute out here. There's like Little House on the Prairie over there, and Little House on the Prairie over there, surrounded by these beautiful, weird mountains that just form in the middle of the valley. I don't know if they're the world's shortest mountain range, but they're definitely the shortest mountain range in California. But we will have these questions answered soon enough. Right, we are actually here at the Sutter Buttes doing a wildflower tour. And as you can see, it's spring and there are wildflowers everywhere. We've just begun the journey, and next stop, wherever. As we head up even further into the buttes,
that's part of what I'm interested in.
We're gaining an elevation, getting to some kind of ridge, following an old Jeep trail.
The mountain
since
itself,
the whole
north edge,
area is private ranches
you can see an area that's dominated
with
by
all kinds of leftover artifacts.
We still have a few. And we have some lupin as well. Oh,
very
there's lupin
tiny.
here. We have the tiny sky lupin, and that's kind of a medium-sized lupin for us out here. And I've got to say, I don't know my species, but we have, I think, 5 types. And we have a lone one. Now, take your hand lens and look at the center of this, and look at the incredible pollen. It's bright, fluorescent blue. Yes?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Ryan says that they have to do with him. Oh, who else is up there? He's a big flapper.
Raptor.
Raptor for sure, but I couldn't see.
Couldn't tell either.
Yes, if they're all going together, I'll look one too. Yeah, she's bringing prizes. So what are the purple out here?
That's beautiful.
Getting more in the interior of the buttes. Nice ridge in the horizon there.
Oh, there he goes again.
Lots of raptors around of unidentified specifics. And lots of pretty butterflies fluttering around, doing butterfly things.
It's the artist's palette out here. That's the pipevine swallowtail.
Yes, really beautiful butterfly.
And we have them for a long season out here.
Oh,
April
look
to
at those
October.
beautiful carpets of flowers.
I know, this is awesome.
I signed up for the butterfly and wildflowers.
We are approaching the ridge.
But I never kill them.
Oh, they're so cool. What are we pointing at? Oh,
Oh, there's the eagle.
yeah. Oh, land.
Raptor alert.
Raptor alert.
Raptor alert.
No, that's a big red tail. See the leading dark edge on the wing? Yep. You're a birder.
Good.
Gave your tell. But that was an eagle earlier.
He's good at spotting.
Turtle.
Yeah, we've seen this a lot.
I think so.
We've seen dozens of them here. Muddy.
They are. They just drink it a little differently.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to hold still. I know, they're not cold enough.
They don't stay still.
My mom would be looking at it. Yeah, it should be the same.
And what kind were these again?
Pipevine swallowtails.
Pipe vine swallowtails.
And I forget the Latin for it.
They produce a noxious bird vomiting substance.
Aristolic acid.
Aristolic acid.
And they're muddy.
Butterfly crossing.
Beautiful.
I did, but I gotta get close.
You go first. You step over. You might.
This is perfect. Two sitting there and one fluttering in between.
Personal stealth mode.
Yeah, see. They're gonna fly around me now.
We've been learning also about their alarm senses.
Look what you
and
did. You
The
done
fact that we can ever swat a fly is amazing. They can't get out until
Dutchman's
they've
pipe.
pollinated,
vine.
and that made contact there because there are these bristles inside the blossom that keep them from going back out until they've pollinated. I think we have a harrier over there. Then the hairs relax and they can go back out. But their structure is very much free. I lost them. Down across the creek there's some little white flowers. We should come closer to some of them. Those are stonecrop or prairie stars, depending on what color they are. And right ahead of me here is purple sanicle. We should see more next to it. Next to us a little sooner. Little round red balls. Purple sanicle, S-A-N-I-C-L-E. We have purple poison and Pacific sanicles out here.
Continuing up the trail.
Along this trail today.
Trees are becoming more thick. Butterflies are still in abundance. And we're getting close to some sort of summit of a
I
ridge.
think we're going to get wide open.
Really impressive here. Some of the biggest trees I've seen in it.
It's cheating too.
It's Butterfly Hill.
Lupin and bird's eye gilia. Wow, and blue dicks. And there's a delphinium up there. We have 3 species of delphinium out here, and on this trail we will see if it's blooming already. One that has reflex petals. Clover, a bush lupin, and the chia isn't up yet. Come on down.
And another beautiful toyon tree.
Yeah. cow poppies. There's one owl's clover. It's a castellea, purple owl's clover. It's also fun with your hand lens, since it's the only one up, lean into it. It's a hemiparasite. Oh, there's another few up the...
Hemiparasite?
It's growing on the root structure of something. And
only
it's still
halfway?
got a little green, so it does do some photosynthesizing, but it does have...
Wow, he's
If it's
amazingly
good, I get a copy of this picture.
tolerant.
It's probably warm enough.
Thank you for tolerating our pursuit of insects.
He's like, I'm an educator too.
That's right.
I made good orthopteran.
That was my photo stuck in, and now one more.
Boy, he's patient.
He is magnificent.
So as soon as she's done and I squat down, it'll be all over with.
Video.
Well, at least somebody got it. On our way up to the summit of the ridge, and it's getting even more impressive. And we came from all the way down there, up this road. And the elevation is getting steeper. And the views are getting more impressive. That's the tallest peak in the Sutter Buttes, and one of the counties here. Which county is this?
Sutter.
Sutter County, and that's off limits. Trespassing is prosecuted by the fullest extent of the law, so we will avoid that. But who cares? You can still see it, and all this beautiful scenery around it. And the toya trees are really, really happy here. We're all taking a little break before we ascend to the top.
Well, and that goes back to what insects see. They see in the ultraviolet range so well. So these colors that are hard for us to process and that certainly don't digitally photograph well, they lean to the ultraviolet spectrum. So they, oh, nice flock of no-see-ums over your head. It's the balancing one. The Sutter Buttes are what we call a plug dome volcano. Mount St. Helens was a plug dome volcano, where the kind of eruptions that we had here were never flowing magma like in Hawaii. It was big explosions of gas and preformed rock and mud or ash. If it was dry and hot, think Pompeii and Vesuvius, because Vesuvius was a plug dome. And what happened to the folks of Pompeii would have happened if we'd had humans around this part of the world about that time. But this happened in the Pleistocene, about 1.4 million years ago, to active like 1.4 million to 1.2 million years ago. Then we have a series of domes that have come up under Vesuvius and Mount St. Helens. They came together in one central vent and caused that horrific, smaller than they are. But you were in a very icy period. So we had pyroclastic blasts, the dry gas ash explosions, and we had lahars where the mud and rocks just traveled for miles. As we drove from the museum out and you started to see the hills growing, you were starting to drive through what we call the ramparts. Howell Williams, an old Welsh, where are you? Geologist who came over to Berkeley, I think in the early 30s, late 20s, would have come into Davis, which was then the farm school for Berkeley, and probably looked up the valley, and he saw what he thought was the remains of a classic volcano, a classic shield volcano. And so he came up and explored a lot, and he explored with Dr. Garnis Curtis. They both taught at Berkeley. I've had retired geologists hike with me who had Howell Williams as a teacher, and I guess the nicest term was son of a bitch. He was quite a piece of work as a professor. His partner, Garnis Curtis, was a little gentler. And the story goes, and Brian can tell the story as well, that Williams got into a car accident and had to have his jaw wired shut. And so Curtis was saying the words, but he would be standing there pounding on the lectern and hitting the board. And I guess, like I said, he was a character. But he did the real seminal work on the geology of the buttes. And people forget Curtis a lot, and so we like to mention Curtis. And the lineage of geologists out here is fairly short because Brian is a student of Garnis Curtis.
Going around another bend, it's getting more obvious that it's a
Type ourselves.
volcanic, extinct volcanic zone. And we've traversed quite a bit of elevation.
Tree
might identify the tree.
A great vantage point of Forbidden Mountain.
I don't have my gall book with me, so
where prosecutors or trespassers will be prosecuted.
So this is the same oak, right?
And we're heading all the way up
that
there.
is
And
interior.
What is this?
That is coffee.
No, up to the sun.
Big old satellite dish. Beautiful. Hey, bro.
Yeah, you go from rock to rock and you hang on.
I don't know if that one has a name, huh?
They don't have goats here though?
Yeah, they do. They have, well, they have Barbary sheep. Barbary sheep, yeah.
Those are the
But
introduced
there also-
ones?
There are a few mountain goats, too. Rare, but we've seen them.
Are they native?
Barbados
Barbados.
black belly sheep.
Is that Barbados meaning like the island? Really? They come? How did we get Caribbean?
Well,
Caribbean sheep in
Somebody
California?
brought a couple, introduced
somebody
some
probably
here.
brought them and
And then
they
they
just decided to
crossed
go
with the-
wild.
Looking towards the north as we go over the ridge.
Well, I've been to Rocky Town and it was literally like
Okay.
Approaching the bigger rock, north side. Ah, birdie. Raptor sighting.
We have some lupin as well.
Oh, very
there's lupin
tiny.
here. We have the tiny sky lupin, and that's kind of a medium-sized lupin right out here. And I've got to say, I don't know my species, but we have 5 types. And we have
So we do have a Mount Lassen sighting here.
What's that? Is that?
I'm sure it's quite freezing up there
Wish we had a little bit of that here.
and windy and probably treacherous to drive in.
Brian says that they have to do with him. Oh, who else is up there? He's a big flapper.
Raptor,
Raptor for sure, but I couldn't see.
couldn't tell either.
So what are the purple out here?
That's beautiful. Getting more in the interior of the buttes. Nice ridge in the horizon there.
Oh, there he goes again.
Lots of raptors around of unidentified specifics. And lots of pretty butterflies fluttering around, doing butterfly things.
It's the artist's palette out here.
That's the pipeline.
That's the pipevine swallowtail.
Really beautiful butterfly.
And we have them for a long season out here.
Oh,
April
look
to
at those
October.
beautiful carpets of flowers.
You know, this is awesome.
signed up for the butterfly and wildflower.
All right, we're reaching another summit here as we pass this gorgeous mountaintop. We're reaching, wow, with a beautiful blue oak to welcome us.
Okay.
The Central Valley down below and the Coast Range in the distance. I guess we're going up there. This butte.
Hi, Kelly. So what's the maximum boots?
Well, they call it probably the double's probably a 6-footer, and Tres Picos is a 6-footer.
And that's the wildlife refuge over there with a golf course in between or something. Or no, is that a vineyard?
Gray Lodge is more toward the north of us from where we are.
What is that green patch? Is that a vineyard or just
like a row crop
or just a
something.
field of almonds?
I think they are. I think that's almonds there.
We took the road around all the way around. That was beautiful.
Probably between those
There's orchards.
two biggest.
Orchards of some sort.
There's a whole bunch of rocks. So.
Reaching a nice little summit of, looks like blue oaks. We're gonna have a picnic with all these wonderful views with butterflies and scenery. Of every place around us. And it looks like a spot has been chosen.
I'd say this has been a really great introduction to the Sutter Buttes.
That's right. That was a few years ago.
We stumbled across the
That was not Joy's.
possible peak of the wildflower season here in this part of California.
Yeah, it's their son.
And it's a beautiful day and a beautiful place. And I've
He was the former
also
principal at my school.
learned a little bit
As of
more
last year.
about
I guess I didn't even know they had children.
the benefits of
That way.
landowners who are willing to
Roberta's Tom's
allow people to come and visit their property.
She's lovely. And I can
And
see
I
her.
think
And I
that's
can hear
something
her
that's
name. And I can't spit it out. She's
a good thing to explore.
so luxury.
Right on.
Practical sense.
So we are going to descend and then somehow take a side trip to Goat Hill, which is that.
You know, I have not. Well, if anyone knows.
Possibly to the top,
I've never gone any further than
but
where it starts up and
possibly not. And I just saw a lizard in there. Goat Mountain. Beautiful oak trees. We're parked down there. That's where we have to go back to.
very park. The first night will be rough. She'll probably make some. Oh yeah. Crying.
And we just came from up there.
You met? Did you?
And we're going down that way.
Well, this is the way. But I got to I wasn't going to say anything. The guy says, I don't know what's wrong with my knees. I really have a low stuff or a high temp. They do that in December. Yes. February. So, and then earlier in the spring, I believe. Double
All right, we parked down there and then went all the way up the trail and then went all the way over there, and then we're doing a little extension to Goat Hill, which is right there. However, we're not allowed to go to the top. And then we're going back down there.
This is our
Turnaround
turnaround base.
base.
Really see this.
Oh, yeah.
And the Goat Mountain Extension Tour is over. Back to our regularly scheduled program. It's just breathtaking. Such a small mountain range, but so magnificent nonetheless. As it juts out from the Central Valley, like a distraught teenage girl with an acne breakout on prom night. But more of a happy ending.
It's actually less stressful and no weeping and crying.
What he said. And the party's over. We're making the final descent. Last crest has been reached. And it's literally all downhill from here.
And it's terrific because it has a road now.
Yeah.
A really big Roman town.